edition of Snapsight Spotlight. And today I have here with me Anand. Hi, Anand.
Hi there again, Sina. Good to be here again.
I know. I like our almost weekly chats. But like, I mean, today it's very exciting because there have been some updates with Snapside, and of course we want to tell everybody about it. So that's why we're like, okay, let's do that today, even though it's a Friday. But we hope that there are still some people watching live. So if you do, of course, put it in the chat as always, so we know that you guys are there. You can always also add your questions while Anand is talking and we discuss all about the new updates for Snapsight. So, without further ado, I would say, Anand, tell us what's new with Snapsight 2.0. Let's call it like this.
Absolutely. So I'm very thankful of all of them who's joined, but also if they're working late on a Friday, so I'm sorry for them as well. But thank you very much, Sina, for that. And it's good to catch up because it's been an interesting couple of months. We have completed a lot of events last year, and all of the time that we've been doing updates. So the that has been for the attendee. So the focus was like, let's go and do this for the attendee, let's go do that for the attendee. So that's been my all of that discussion has been about that. But I see that we've gotten so much of interaction with the event side of things, like the organizer. So that's where we now have come into the play and say that, hey, we are now organizer friendly as well. So we've
Yay.
become more finally. So that's where, because the feedback is something that was very coming in very raw, and we understood that that's also an area that we need some touching upon. So as you know, I've been touching and working on my GB skills, using ChatGPT to clear this visual. So when I was seeing this, the organizer looks after everything. The event manager, the person who's out there. The show is over, but there's so much also to be done as well. So I thought we were working towards getting the best experience so that there is less stress on site for the organizer. So
Yay.
that's where we started off with things. So let
Yeah.
me just
And I mean, also, just a note from my side because I've used Snapside a couple of times now and it's already easy. But, anyways, I mean, go ahead. I'm really looking forward to see how you made it even easier for us busy event organizers on site and
yeah, but
afterwards.
absolutely, it was easy. But I think there were real life scenarios where the events and the stakes got bigger and bigger, and the requirements and the requests also got bigger and better as well. So that's where we've started. So kicking off with the first one. So in one view, we used to give you takeaways, summaries, and the idea cloud. Now, of course, we had to eventually get into the translation space fully. So that's where live text came into play. We kicked this off 3 months back. It has gotten amazing feedback, and we are going full throttle on this now. So it just is starting off with a few languages, with around 30 now. Now the team has jumped into the next foray. We
Wow.
are now in industry best language support, more than 86 languages supported for the attendees, and then 74 from the speakers. So what that means is that an attendee is able to switch to close to 86 languages of their preference, and the speakers can be of native speakers of 74 languages. So this includes very different dialects. I didn't even know there were 86 languages out there, to be honest.
Right.
But there is a mix of so many dialects. There's like French Canadian, there is
Mhm.
Southeast Asia also, there is Chinese, there is simplified Chinese. So that also are under the list there. And then the speakers, the combination makes it, the language pairing is, the universe becomes so big. Now it's at like 6,500. The probability is so much. So now
Yeah.
with the global events are now available, this tech is available for them to not only for the summaries but also the live text
Yeah.
translation as well.
Exactly. So I want to point this out because a lot of people think like, okay, Snapside, like, so how it works, right? Like you get the audio and it creates the key takeaways on the idea cloud for people, and then they can select the language and read that. But also you can have the live transcription. So you don't only look at the key takeaways of a session, but you can read live word by word what has been said. So I think that's very interesting. It's like two and one kind of.
Absolutely. So I think we have a question from and yeah, as on the comparison with quality. Of course, that is the perfect question because we had researched about all the space in the space of translation. There are many players out there, but we do have the edge of AI. We have an understanding of the user experience. So we have created this experience which is more smoother but does not feel robotic as well. So just an example of how this works is that on the live space we are connected to the audio feed here. So the you can see the how smoothly that the audio is picked up in the feed. That's how smoothly the live text also appears on the experience of the attendee. So this is for any language possible because I'm not a multilinguist, so I can only manage English. So this is how the experience would be for any language, so that any speaker, if they're speaking with a flow as well, that would be going in as a sentence by sentence but in a typewriter format, so that everything seems like just like how WhatsApp comes in, like chat by chat. It's so simple and and seamless as well.
Nice. Great. Okay, first update. What's next?
Yeah, so as such, before we get into it, if somebody wants to scan the whole list, this is how this is where they can find the whole list, or of course reach us for any more questions on this. Yeah, so next comes in the 2.0 edition of the backend. So the backend has taken a very new shape now. We have heard from a lot of a lot of organizers and AV teams that how they were working, but we have now worked on a few big changes there. So first thing, there's a new dashboard. It looks flush and plush, and this has been in the works because this gives an overview about all the work that's happening. Snapsight was beginning of some events before. Now we've completed hundreds of events. So an organizer can see the view of all the sessions they've captured, what is going on, how much has been analyzed, and also there is one couple of things in the roadmap of the number of views also. If somebody's the attendees, what kind of metrics you are looking at, that's going to be an even bigger metric for ROI and so many other things. So that also will be in a few weeks live. And the big picture that you see, the event wide idea cloud.
Okay.
Everybody loves the session wide idea cloud because that's a dynamic experience. People can click into
Mm.
the topics that they like.
Yeah.
But
And just two
Mhm.
questions here. Session analyzed, that means that 31% of sessions have been analyzed so far because the other ones, they didn't take place yet, right?
Correct. The agenda must be midway and it's going on. So that means 30%, like day one of day three is over. So
Okay.
that's 30% done. So or other sessions are still to be analyzed.
And the views, so if a person has viewed 5 session summaries, that
Mhm.
would count as 5 or as 1 because it comes from one user.
Yeah, so the users right now the views would be for the project level. So because we're looking at this as a project level, so somebody who is, let's say ICA has this event in Greece next week, so they would have two tracks for 30 sessions. But as a overall, they would have 200 attendees. In those 200 attendees, how many people actually viewed that entire project? We are looking
Yeah.
at this as a project wise. So that's where it is. It might also, the metrics would be different. We would want to see unique numbers and you would want to see the whole numbers as well, just the way we measure social media as well.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. And for the overall Idea Cloud view, I like that because I envision we could put it in like the white spaces, like networking area. We could put a screen up there, or somewhere else, like because I know it from like the social media walls where
Yeah.
you see the posts that have been done online, what has been talked about the event. But this is also interesting, so you can actually like content wise see it, and even if you make it maybe a touch screen, I don't know, I'm dreaming, then
Oh
people can
no,
even
amazing
go into
actually.
it. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think you're on the right track there because this idea, no pun intended, this idea cloud did come from when we had done ICA's Congress last year. So they had this huge digital signage at the entry. I wish I was there, but all of my team was there, and they had seen this huge entry arch with a huge screen where the event wide Idea Cloud was presented the first time. So anyone who walked through the lobby area, they would see the entire event content just generating right there,
Yeah.
all of the new sessions adding up and the new topics adding up in this Idea Cloud. So that was like the first visual, and it had to go into the product.
Nice. Okay.
And then the next step is the sessions, adding those sessions and creating those sessions. It's far more easier now. And also one big advantage for, I would say, smaller teams and also associations and corporates who do a lot of on demand like webinars as such. Now the new foray is that the live content is definitely there, but now you can add webinar on demand content for analyzing it and getting the key takeaways as well.
Okay. So I can upload any recordings. Like, is there a limitation on the length?
Yeah, so it's the size of it. But it does
Mhm.
have a huge. Right now, around 2 GB is the
Yeah.
capacity there, and you can take up the audio or the video of that as well. And each session would generally not go beyond that. But if that's the case, you can always use tools to just shrink it up a bit and then utilize it
Exactly.
for analysis there.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
So this is the new session type, that's the on demand. So here you see that this is the, there are types of files. You can use your own audio files and then that would be uploaded with the basic title and the description. That's about it. You can list the speaker details so that it's better accurate speaker, uh, uh, speaker quotes are more
Hmm.
accurate. So, but yeah, that's the best part about this for leaner teams working on huge data.
Yeah.
And yes, so this is something which has been in the works for a good time now, because 100 sessions when an AV team is managing, they are just not working for Snapsight. They're doing so many other things as well. So we wanted to make a better precisioned experience for the AV team there, so that each second counts at the time of the AV team. So as sweet as you were saying that you had never a problem, but this was a good idea which came in from one of our largest AV companies that we work with. They had asked and given the idea to get a sound check done. So when the audio feed is all set up, the first stress point is that, hey, when we go live, will this work? Because right now, before we both entering this as well, there's a sense of anxiety whether everything is plugged in
Sure.
and go as well.
Yeah.
So how many events do you do as well? So that is an area that we've clarified and made this as an experience where you can test it when you do the sound check. It would give you the experience of the same experience, but would confirm that the audio feed is coming in and it is smooth before you go live.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the testing environment. When all is done well, then you go live, and then the session is captured as
Yeah.
smoothly as you can.
Nice.
Yep. So before we get into case studies or any other things, I wanted to check if there are any questions I can answer.
Let's see. Xenia is just saying that she has been very proud that she was leading the trend when she was in charge of the education at ICA at the Abu Dhabi conference.
Oh, okay. So I think that's where the that's the school of thought started. But yeah, thank you very much, Sanjay, for
Yeah.
that.
Nice. Okay. I think we can continue. And if there are any questions, I will show them.
Absolutely. So one of the, before I get into the case study itself, some background about the kind of clients that I wanted to speak about. So healthcare is becoming a very important segment for us because there's the content, the level of precision that is required, and the accuracy which is required in the insights which come out is very, very crucial, and that becomes a very important topic of discussion whenever we're discussing it with event managers from the healthcare or healthcare tech business who are doing conferences and webinars these days. So we had the opportunity to work with many, and I'm just highlighting one of them today. Is that Behavioral Health Tech is a conference that happens annually, And last year, at the end of the year, they had this conference of around under 90 sessions, and that was a couple of days long event with many participants coming in from a varied types of stakeholders as well. So the experience was just not one sided. They had the vision to use it double two ways. So because they were working on a lean team, they had used it for the experience at the event. So the key takeaways, summaries, the thing that was done. But using those insights, they were able to deliver post event content as well. So let me
Hmm.
show you one thing here. So the first thing, the attendee experience was this. So they were able to deliver this in real time. So the takeaways, and these are topic level takeaways for the healthcare segment. So you would see acronyms and jargon which is related to healthcare technology. And of course, their preference, because this was based out of US, so the preference of language was English and Spanish. Just after the event itself, they were able to repurpose this insights into a full-fledged content for their blog posts as well. So if you see their blogs, they had utilized the AI here to fully flesh out a blog for their upcoming event and
Hmm.
their audience as well. So this empowers them to actually get two results. First, the result is the experience. The attendees get the insights when they are at the event or just after, out of the event as well. There's retention, but this is an annual edition, so they don't have too many of connections throughout
Yeah,
the year as well. So how are they utilizing this content to connect with the attendees for the next edition as well? So that plays a big role here. You know how the difference makes when the connection is still
I
intact.
agree.
So it
Totally.
gives the
Yeah,
push for them to register for the next year as well.
yeah.
So that has been one of the I would say that's a great example, and this is the basic one. You can look at more advanced healthcare or pharma events as well, utilizing this in that scale where hundreds of sessions are under play. As such, we are right now supporting a few of these pharma events in Barcelona and also in the American region as well, where the event scale are 150 events and
Mm.
multi-tracks as well. So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
makes content gold right there.
for sure. Nice. Okay. What's next?
Yeah, so I think that is the three big updates that we have. The bigger
Great.
product update would be about, which I would definitely open up more about in the next few weeks, would be about role based access here. We are supporting larger teams, so then they would need lesser access to the ones who are on ground, and then of course an admin who wants a bird's eye view about everything else as well, and also making billing also a bit smoother and easier so that they can budget things faster and simpler as well. No need to
Okay.
talk to me for everything.
No, we like that because before the event it's very stressful. So we try to do everything ourselves, and it has to be easy, efficient. So I like that. Very good new updates for us busy event managers.
Yeah, so that's the big one. And then, of course, the additional one thing would be analytics, which might take a few weeks, but still that is ongoing work. But that will have a lot of impact on not only the marketing folks, but with regards to analysis and analytics coming into play, the ROI structure of it also will come into play. So that will open up a very big, very important conversation as well.
Nice. Okay, so we can be excited for the next talk. There are constantly updates. I mean, that's how it is with AI, no? And I mean, it's always evolving, but it's good because you guys listen to our feedback, and then, you implementing the changes to make everybody's life easier, the user experience better, So that's good.
Absolutely. So it was a fun couple of months, and we have a long way to go. But yeah, it's been great, and yeah, thanks to you for also championing us.
No, of course, of course. Good. Okay, if there are no further questions, I would say these were okay. I just see Joe coming in with a nice message, and of course I want to show. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you,
and
Joe.
And of course, if there are any more questions, you can always reach out to me or Anand, and we're always happy to answer them. Next week, we're going to have our next Snapsight Spotlight with Tahira from IMAX. And
Yep.
she's going to talk about how Snapsight is used at IMAX Frankfurt, which is coming up very soon in May. So that's going to be an exciting session as well. It's going to be on Tuesday at 3 o'clock Central European Time. So I hope everybody is tuning in again then to learn more about Snapsight and to hear all about how people are using it. And another message from Xenia. Yeah, do you see any trends in how quickly things develop? Um, do you want to share last words about that, Anand?
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, we're seeing a lot of trends, especially with regards to insights blowing up all of us, blowing us our minds every day. So, I think the key trend that I clearly see is that the analysis has uh, more nuanced expectations have begun. So, people have more looking at things more carefully. So, there are many places that you get summaries and takeaways as well, but we see that uh, in developing this, there is every day there's a new outburst of analysis. So you see notebook LLM the other day, so that was an extremely extremely great use case, because content to audio is something that is in the works in our end as well, but that gives out a great that opens doors for a larger and unstructured content that we were always discussed. So yeah, that is something that I constantly observe, is that the need for more deeper insights is always there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Good. All right, then thanks, Anand, for taking the time to give us an update. Of course,
Absolutely.
everybody can also see, everything again on this event, but also on Snapsight, on the website. You can read through the updates, of course, as well there. So yeah, I hope to see everybody again next Tuesday. And with that, have a great weekend, everybody.